When it comes to mixing headphones, we have several options out there. We have affordable options and also high-end expensive options that can go from $1,500 to as high as $5,000 for a pair of headphones. That is quite expensive. But the big question is, are expensive mixing headphones worth it? And this is what I want to talk about today by looking at this guy made by HEDD, which are known for their studio monitors and also for the first version of their high-end headphones. And they just came out with this version, the HEDDphone version 2, which are designed for mixing and mastering. And I had a chance to work with them for the last couple of months, so I know them pretty well. Now I'm gonna tell you right away, they will go out at $2,000 US, which is not cheap. And at that price range, it doesn't mean that they are perfect. And same goes for all headphones in this price range and even studio monitors for that matter. So I'll show you all the stuff that I like about these headphones and also the stuff I'm not crazy about. Now, what comes with the headphones or other expensive headphones will be a bit different compared to a cheaper set of headphones, like the boxing and the packaging, for example. In this case, it has a very nice packaging. It's actually pretty impressive. This will include a hard carrying case, also 2 sets of cables, one with a TRS connector to connect to your sound interface, and also an adapter to connect to your computer. It also comes with cables to connect to high-end headphone amps. We also have an extra pair of cushions if we need to replace them at some point, which is always appreciated. And also a 5-year warranty, which is actually pretty cool. And this is the kind of stuff you won't get with cheaper alternatives. Which brings me to the design of these headphones. Now, they are open back headphones and over-ear headphones, meaning that the cushion will go over the full ear, okay? Open back headphones are pretty well known in the mixing headphone world. They are usually more expensive than closed back headphones due to their design, which are very good for mixing and mastering music. I've been using headphones when mixing for a few years, and I always use open back headphones when it comes to mixing and mastering. When it comes to comfort, which is quite important, these ear pads are very comfortable, I have to say. And the way you can adjust the size of the headphones to fit your head is very well done. It uses a strapping system that will allow you to adjust the height, the width of the headphones, and also the curvature and the clamping pressure, which is quite nice. You just need to take the time to adjust them correctly and you're good to go. Now, the most common drivers when it comes to headphones are dynamic drivers and also planar magnetic drivers when we go to more expensive headphones, like the Odyssey MM500 headphones that I made a video on this channel, which are planar magnetic drivers. But these will use a different type of driver called AMT, Air Motion Transformer. And by looking at this type of driver, they look pretty familiar. You probably saw this type of design on studio monitors like Atom monitors and also HEDD monitors, where they use this type of drivers as tweeters on these studio monitors. But what HEDD decided to do is to design this type of driver for a headphone, which is quite nice actually. So what does that mean comparing to a dynamic and planar magnetic driver? So traditional drivers like dynamic and planar magnetic will operate on the principle of using a diaphragm that moves back and forth to create the sound. But when it comes to an AMT driver, it has an accordion-like diaphragm design. So instead of having a flat diaphragm that moves in and out to create the sound, the folded AMT diaphragm pushes in and out from itself a bit like the movement of an accordion, pushing the air in and out. And this is how it creates the sound. So this action of squeezing the air between its V-shaped folds allows it to push as much as 4 times the amount of air made by the same diaphragm movement compared to dynamic and planar magnetic drivers. So basically this allows the AMT driver to produce less distortion and faster transient response. And to achieve a full frequency range from 10 Hz to 40 kHz, which is a first for an AMT driver, it uses VVT technology that rethinks the geometry of the AMT driver by letting the folds vary in width and depth. That's a lot of stuff. So now, before I talk about the sound quality, I'm gonna make myself some tea. I'm a huge fan of cinnamon, and this is what I do. I just take 2 sticks of cinnamon and that's it. Pour down some hot water, let it rest, and I'm good to go. I'm telling you, this is so good. So now let's talk about the sound. So how do they sound like? Now, the fact that they are using AMT drivers makes them very fast when it comes to the dynamic response. They are very punchy. When we talk about kick, snare, bass, everything is very, very well defined and punchy. And I really like the transient response of these headphones. Nothing comparing to all the other headphones I have in my possession. When it comes to the frequency response, the low mid sounds so good and flat and accurate. It's honestly the best mid-range I've heard so far in a pair of headphones. Now, the bass response is smooth and nice, extended also, without being overpowering, which is good for mixing, you know. I saw other reviews where audiophiles were actually saying that they lack of low end. I guess it's a personal choice at this point. In my opinion, they're gonna give you the information needed when it comes to low end to make good mixing judgment calls without any problems. They also have nice defined highs and top end, which is good, but not aggressive at all, you know, but very defined. I like that. And when it comes to the top of the high mids to the beginning of the highs, they are pretty smooth, okay? It took me a while to get used to the sound of the headphones just because of that range of frequencies. That sounds smoother than what I'm used to. But the good thing about this, they don't sound harsh at all. So that is the good side. So if I compare them to the MM500, now the 500 are gonna sound way more high mid forward compared to these, where they're gonna sound smoother in the same frequency range. But I get lots of detail, clarity, and resolution with the HEDD version 2. And like I said earlier, they are very punchy, and this is the thing that I like the most about these headphones. Now, when it comes to the Soundscape, the stereo width of these headphones, they sound very natural. You don't get that like super separated left and right stereo image. They sound more like the stereo image of studio monitors. So good stereo image, good left and right separation, but in a very natural way. So if you're used to super extended stereo image using headphones, you're probably gonna find that these are a bit more centered, okay? But in my book, they just sound way more natural, and I kind of like that a lot. They sound detailed, punchy, smooth, and natural, which is perfect for mixing and mastering as far as I'm concerned. And I can work for a long period of time without getting ear fatigue, which is great when working on headphones. And the most important for me is that they translate my mixes and masters very well. And I had a chance to mix and master several songs using them. Now, when it comes to the stuff I'm not that crazy about. Now, even if it's a very nice design, and solid by the way, very well built, they are on the heavy side of things. And also the strapping system is very cool and well done. But I have a big head and I'm wearing glasses. So they still are very comfortable to wear, but they feel a bit heavy and just slightly tight, you know, even if I adjust them a bit. But again, I'm wearing glasses and I have a big head. Okay, so they are heavier than all my other sets of headphones. So this is something I just wanted to point out. Again, it's a bit normal because of the driver technology we have under the hood. They are open back headphones, so that means they are not ideal for recording, especially if you're recording vocals, where the bleed coming out of the headphones can create problems problems when recording. But if you produce music using samples, virtual instruments, that's not a problem whatsoever, okay? But that is the same for all type of open back headphones. When it comes to the sound, the only thing that for my taste, and this is a personal choice and that can differ from one person to another, I told you that they sounded very smooth, especially on the high mids and beginning of the high frequencies, where I kind of feel like there's a kind of a smooth dip. And this is nothing that can't be fixed with a bit of EQ, which is something I started to do lately on all my headphones. Let me know if you want me to do a video on this. And I'm gonna have to say though, that they take EQ very well, okay? So this is one good thing about these headphones. Another con is, of course, the price. You know, the price is not cheap, so that will not fit all budgets. But again, you get a lot for the price you pay for. Now, there's also the fact that it is recommended to use a good headphone amp to work with these headphones. Now, they have an impedance of 41 ohms, and they are gonna work okay on a laptop and also on most sound interfaces. But for a better sound experience, it is recommended to use them with a good headphone amplifier to get the most out of these headphones. And that can be a con for some because it's going to add to the investment. But this is a topic for another video. So who is going to buy these types of expensive, high-quality headphones? First, a professional producer and mixing engineer that is looking for a reliable, good high-quality mixing pair of headphones is probably going to look for something like this. Or someone who works a lot on headphones or even solely relies on headphones to produce and mix music. Maybe that person's home studio is in an apartment where installing acoustic panels and work with loudspeakers is almost impossible. Or someone who needs a mobile option since that person mixes and produces on the road quite often and is looking for a high quality monitoring system that he can rely on to mix and produce music. Yeah, maybe that person is gonna aim and go towards an expensive pair of headphones like these. So I guess the question on if expensive headphones like these are worth it will rely on personal needs for the most part. But what I want to know is what you think. Let me know down below. Until next time, take care and see you.